This is the last video in the series of what Stanford never taught me. I'm Ryan, a junior at Stanford studying human biology. And today we're going to talk about how to use new tools like AI and why I wish Stanford taught me that. And also we're going to talk about how AI is so important for kind of equalizing the playing field for a lot of people in learning. So I think a lot of times the problem with college is that they're really just not up to date. And so as a result, yes, they may have one class on AI, but that's only if you're at some of the top schools in the country, right? The rest of those places may not cover it at all. Maybe they will, but it's will they really teach you exactly how to use all these new tools? Often not. And then it's you have to go on YouTube again, like we've said in all my previous videos. If you haven't seen them already, make sure you watch them, right, in this series. But it's you have to go on YouTube, find some guy who explains it, and then learn from them. And the stuff you learn from that random video you watch on YouTube is probably gonna be 10 times more applicable than whatever you learn in the classroom, because they're probably just not gonna spend time talking about it. Instead, they're gonna go on and on about, the evolution of species and stuff like that, right? So it's just very disconnected from what is going on in the current world to what is constantly being taught, because a lot of these professors have taught the same thing year in, year out, again, and we know that the world never stays stagnant. So how is it possible you could teach the same exact thing and not change it at all throughout 20 years while the outside world is constantly changing? So that's why I think really schools should be teaching you is how to use these tools, because that's honestly the most important thing. Because regardless of what your field is, if you know how to use this tool, it becomes more of a superpower to you, which is great. And that leads me into the second point about why AI is so crucial for learning. And I'm not talking just memorizing textbook stuff. I'm talking about any kind of learning. And we've realized in this world today that a lot of the things that get you a job are your skills, okay? And it's okay, so how do we learn skills? Well, we learn them through watching videos, but also now AI is allowing us to have these interactions with it and ask it a lot of questions, actually not almost, literally infinite. You could ask ChatGPT questions all day about a specific subject. Yes, some parts maybe are not completely accurate, but there are ways to mitigate that, and the hallucination risk is definitely decreasing over time, and it's becoming more and more accurate and knowledgeable. And so, or you can also ask it to point you towards certain resources. So AI has really allowed us to have our own personal assistant in any situation, right? Because now you have a friend who can search the web for you, look through tens and thousands of websites, so you don't have to, then give you specific recommendations. Also, you can have it explain certain concepts to you in 20 different ways that you can never have with a professor, because a professor is going to only know probably 5 ways to explain something maximum. And then, you can also have it make practice problems. You can give it information about specific situations you're in and ask it to tailor its response and suggestions for that. There are so many different ways that you can use AI. And I think it's let me compare to this, right? Back in the Stone Age, before there was fire, right? Somebody makes fire. And what is the importance of fire? Fire is a lot of things. It's warmth, it's also light, and it's also allowed us to have so many other downstream things. Because you have light, now you can write books and you can read. You can stay up past the time the sun goes down, because now you have light and you can still see and still function. All these things. It's I feel AI is a very similar thing, in that it not only allows you to do one thing, that allows you to do one thing, that allows you to do more things, that allows you to learn more and do a bunch of different ripple effects. So I think for you, you watching this, it's really important that you learn how to use AI and just the different parts of it. How can I work with it to make it better? How can I, use it exactly for what I need? And I think that that's also a thing that I wish a lot of these top institutions would teach, but unfortunately they really don't, right? And so the truth is you're just left to your own devices, and you're left to watching random YouTube videos to learn how you should actually, save your job and, stay relevant in this upcoming decade of just immense change. So I think that it's just a really big thing that I wish, a lot of people taught, but they don't. And so it's if you want to learn it, all the resources out there, right? That's the truth of the matter. You don't need to be oh, I'm not going to a top school, so I can't learn about AI. Nope, that's not true. Because even if you're at a top school, you're probably going to be watching YouTube videos. That's the hard reality of everything. But yeah, this is the end of the series. If you have any questions or comments, put them in the comment section down below. Make sure you subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in future videos.